putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Kevin Jackson here. It is the Kevin Jackson Show. KJRadio.com. We've got a lot to discuss. I'm going to move on for a bit because there are quite a few other things in the news that need to be talked about. We covered this girl, CNN Jamel, what's her face, a little bit. And she wanted to, I don't know, she says Trump is a white nationalist or whatever else. And we talked about her. We talked about Anthony Bourdain, CNN. And this guy, look, I'm going to tell you something. If it weren't for CNN having to be forced on you in the airport, I wouldn't know what their lineup is. But I watch Bourdain, who's his chef. And he's been, I just know this because I was in the airport. And he's been on CNN now with this show for 10 years. It used to be a show where he ran around eating exotic foods. But now he talks about, music and all these other things. And I don't know how you have any credibility. I watched the CNN piece or heard it in the airport where he was talking to some musician in Nashville. She's a lady that's just starting to make it, kind of old school country. And he's talking about, just making that transition and stuff. And I was as I watched the show, I was thinking, country music, these are people that love America, probably really love the president. And here's a guy that says if he had the chance, if he cooked for Trump, he'd poison him. And then he said, I didn't say kill, I said KO. I heard some smart alecky comment about it. And I'll be honest with you, I've done a little bit of research on the guy, not a whole lot. And I hear he's a first-class a-hole, which wouldn't surprise me at all because most leftists are. And it was just, honestly, it's disgusting to watch these guys. Before I ever knew anything about this guy, I thought he was a cool cat. And look, here's the thing. It isn't just about his politics. I don't care that he's a lefty. I have leftist friends. I'll give you a quick story. One of my buddies lives in St. Louis, hurt his ankle on his job. They won't pay his workman's comp. He literally twisted his foot almost off and tore the ligaments. It was crazy. I told him, stop telling me the story. And he kept going. I said, I'm serious. Stop telling me. I don't want to hear about it. I get it. It was a terrible injury. They won't pay his workman's comp. So I, was back and forth to St. Louis. I had a bunch of food in my refrigerator, probably about $400 worth of food. So I said, hey, man, come by. Come get this food. His wife and he. So they came by. They were just overjoyed, to get all this food. They go, man, we don't have to shop for 2 months. I said, good. So helping him out. And I know he stood in the Michael Brown Jr. protest. He doesn't know I know. But I know he did. Because I, monitored. Somebody was telling me about his Facebook page. I didn't go out there. I'm not a stalker. So he calls me up and he's like, man, what you doing? I said, oh, nothing. You need anything? No, he said, I'm just all this stuff going on in St. Louis. And I'm like, what about it? Yet again, we got Anthony Lamar Smith, a guy who's a heroin dealer, and we want to build a civil rights movement around him. And we got silly Negroes marching over this stuff, threatening to shut a city down that's already in a death spiral. I go, and you wonder why I want to be out of here? And yeah. And I could tell that he wanted me to feel sorry for Anthony Lamar Smith, who got himself killed. And I explained it. I said, what they want us to do is suspend belief that a heroin dealer didn't have a piece. Because I asked one dude, a leftist, he said, they planted that gun. I said, okay, well then where's the other gun? And he looked at me like, what? I go, where's the other gun? He's like, what other gun? Hey, it wasn't no gun. I said, okay, so what you want me to believe is a dude who sells heroin in the hood and does drug deals didn't have a gun. And he looked at me like, oh, you got me. I said, yeah. So if the cops found one gun, I want to know where his gun was. Was it on him? Did he toss it? What? Because I'm going to tell you something, folks. Heroin dealers who deal drugs in the hood are all strapped. For you white folks, that means they have guns. Don't try to play. Don't get it twisted, as we like to say. He had a gun. So Don't talk to me about the rifle the cop had in the car and the DNA and all these other things, because only a fool would believe that that dude didn't have a gun. So show me the other gun. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about. I don't want to just talk about that. Teacher gets suspended, loving on cop killers. And he's a weirdo. Tucker interviewed him. I didn't see the interview, but I saw his picture. He's a weirdo. These are the people that you folks, particularly you white people, go out and you spend a fortune sending your kids to people like him. And worse, you send them to people like this black professor that said God is white. God is racist and he's white. And all these other things. Do you understand what a disservice you do to yourself, to your children, to America, to humanity by forking it over? Everywhere I go, every city I visit, practically, especially around election time, you will see people going, hey, donate to the schools. You know, so-and-so school, Texas schools, Arizona schools, Minnesota schools. It's for the kids. And it'll be district on, like, because they want TIF funds or bond initiatives. And vote yes for the childrens. Vote yes for the little childrens. Protect the little bitty babies. We got to educate them. And they're not getting educated. Neither are you. You pay for it. You don't get educated. Anyway, we'll talk more about that. Teacher, maybe. I don't know. Boobs. I'm telling you all the things I missed. Somebody said boobs. A guy sends me a text message. So, Kevin, I don't think it was such a big deal about boobs. I'm like, dude, I've been on a plane for 4 hours. What are you talking about? Somebody on TV said boobs. Okay. What about it? A guy said, I like the First Amendment and I like boobs. And I'm like, well, congratulations to him. He could add a few things. I bet he likes steak. He probably likes monster trucks. Maybe likes football. What's the big deal? And the lady, I guess her name, I interviewed with her years ago. Poppy, was it Poppy? No, Brooke somebody. She was offended on behalf of women because some dude said he liked boobs. I don't know who it was. Maybe you guys do. Call the show, 844-551-8255. Maybe you're a guy out there and you like boobs. My hand is up. I like boobs. I don't like moobs. That's man boobs. I like boobs. Babe boobs. Okay? Always have. Always will. I don't get this. I don't get how this is a story. The left is looking for things to be offended about. I don't understand it. Look, women, are you really that? And I'm talking about this. Brooke's a nice looking lady. And what was funny, who was it? Adam Baldwin or somebody tweeted, oh yeah, I get by on my intellect. And they've got this picture of her standing like in front of one of the, a photo op. And guess what's showing? Almost 2/3, 3/4 of her boob in a dress. But no, she doesn't use her sexuality. I'll put it to you this way. If I had boobs and they look like and I took care of them, I would make no bones about it. This is where I talk about these feminists. God gave women the products, the pieces to make men. We will swoon over women. And I'm not going to give away the secrets, guys, but there are secrets for women to be with men and where a guy will adore you. There are secrets to this. I'm not going to tell you. You want to call, reach out to me. Let me know you're listening to the show. I may give you hints. I'll talk to you about it. But the fact of the matter is, there are secrets to how women can deal with men and how men can deal with women that solve all the problems. And I'm not going to try to get you to not read Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, whatever. I don't know who is which, because you can go do what you want. But I will tell you, there are people out there who know the secret to this, and women know it, and it isn't worrying about your boobs and hearing words and things like that. That's ridiculous. But we had that. We had big news. London was bombed. Well, I want to talk about that next hour. London gets bombed. that is superseded by the nonsense of St. Louis, which I could talk about that the entire show. The only reason why I'm not talking about it in depth in this segment is because I already talked about it so much. I was on the ground. I'm disturbed that black folks want to ruin this country. They do. And white liberal enablers want to help them. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why do you want to ruin the best country in the world? We'll be back.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.